how reading changed my life.
Right, so there I was, a young lad from Yorkshire, a place where the fields stretch out as far as the eye can see and the air is always fresh and crisp. Never much cared for reading, I can tell you that straight off. The very sight of a book would make me wrinkle my nose in disdain. Give me a kickabout with me mates or a spot of fishing any day. The thrill of scoring a goal or the patience of waiting for a fish to bite was far more appealing. Books seemed like dull things, full of stuffy words and even stuffier stories. They just sat there gathering dust with their uninviting covers. Didn't see the point, really. Why spend hours reading when there were so many other exciting things to do? Why bother with all those words when there was a whole world out there just waiting to be explored? The woods, the rivers, the endless skies. They were my playground. My parents, bless their souls, tried their best, always encouraged me to pick up a book. They'd sit with me, trying to spark my interest, told me it would do wonders for my mind. They'd read aloud, hoping the stories would captivate me. But their words fell on deaf ears, I'm afraid. I was too busy dreaming of my next adventure outside. Reading just seemed like a chore, a right pain in the backside, if you will. It felt like a task, something I was forced to do, rather than something to enjoy. Little did I know those books held worlds within them, just waiting to be discovered. But at that time I was too stubborn to see it. It would take a special kind of story to change my mind, to show me that reading could be an adventure all its own. Then one dreary afternoon, something happened. Rain was coming down in buckets, the kind that makes you feel like the world is washing away. Couldn't go out, couldn't see me mates. The streets were empty, and the world felt like it was on pause. Boredom had settled in like a bad case of the flu. The clock seemed to tick slower, each second dragging on. I wandered about the house, restless and out of sorts. Every room felt the same, filled with an air of monotony. Ended up in the sitting room, staring at the bookshelf. It was like a silent guardian of stories long forgotten. It was my grandfather's bookshelf, see? A family heirloom passed down through generations, filled with all sorts of ancient-looking volumes. Each book seemed to whisper tales of the past. Never paid much attention to them before. They were just part of the background, collecting dust. But that day, with nothing better to do, I pulled out a book. It felt like discovering a hidden treasure. The binding was cracked, the pages yellowed with age. It had a certain charm, a sense of history. It smelled musty, like old paper and forgotten times. The scent was oddly comforting, like a bridge to another era. Turns out it was a collection of classic literature, Dickens, Austen, the lot. Stories that had stood the test of time, waiting to be rediscovered. Now, I won't lie, the first few pages were a right struggle. All those long words, those convoluted sentences, felt like I was trying to decipher a foreign language. Had to keep a dictionary close at hand. Every other word sent me scrambling for its meaning. Frustration mounted. I almost chucked the book back on the shelf. But something kept me going. Perhaps it was the challenge of it all, or maybe it was the way those words, once I understood them, painted such vivid pictures in my mind. Whatever it was, I persevered, looked up every word I didn't know. Slowly but surely, the fog began to clear. A world of words unveiled. And then, it happened. I was halfway through a particularly gripping passage when I realized something. I was understanding it, not just the words themselves, but the nuances, the hidden meanings, the way the author used language to evoke emotions, to create entire worlds. Each sentence was a brushstroke, painting vivid images in my mind. It was like a revelation, a moment of clarity that changed everything. Suddenly, this whole world of words, this vast and intricate tapestry of language opened up before me. It was as if I had unlocked a secret door. It wasn't just about understanding the stories anymore. It was about diving deeper into the essence of language itself. It was about the words themselves. Each word was a key unlocking new layers of meaning and emotion, the way they sounded, the way they fit together, the sheer power they possessed. I was hooked. Every word was a note in a symphony, creating a harmonious melody. Reading was no longer a chore. It became a passion, a source of endless fascination. It was an adventure, a voyage of discovery. Each book was a new journey, a new world waiting to be explored. The more I read, the more I wanted to read. The world of words had truly been unveiled to me. The thirst for knowledge. From that day forward, I was a changed lad. devoured books like they were going out of fashion. Started with the classics, then branched out. History, science, philosophy, you name it. Anything to quench my thirst for knowledge. And with every book I read, my vocabulary grew. Words that had once seemed foreign and intimidating became familiar friends. I'd whip them out in conversation, much to the astonishment of my mates. They started calling me professor for a bit, but it was all in good fun.
Thank you for listening to English Audio Lounge. We hope you have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more audio stories and video classes to improve your English.